Hey everybody, welcome back to Space Engineers, where the work on the ship has continued. And we are left with this. So last time on What the Hell Am I Making? Let me just duck inside. We started building up the crew quarters. Pretty much got all that finished. Just need to do some interior decorating. Let me close that door out. As you saw by all that, we are in fact pressurized within this space. So yeah, we've got kind of a dining kitchen area here. We can put a little bit more stuff over here. We've got kind of a living room area with our little cargo pad. As always, got to have our refill station. If we walk down this hallway, we have our stateroom, which I'm going to do a few changes on. And of course, we have our medical bay. So yeah. So this is all the stuff that we did last week. We started kind of figuring out where we want the control room, which is going to be upstairs. And then, of course, we started building a set of stairs downward. Having spent a little bit of time and going through all the stuff that I did, there's a few things I think I want to change up here before we get too far started. First thing, just to kind of let everyone know, is that we are no longer in the construction yard. I've actually had to bring up a new sim world, just because the construction yard, the PCU count with all those different ships in there was just getting to be really, really hard to manage. So I've actually brought it in to a simulation of our current world. In fact, our base is hiding out somewhere down there. But we're in the kind of a creative variant of it and not the real world, so we can do whatever we want up here and not have to worry about affecting kind of what's going on. So some of the things I want to change are a couple of little things inside, and then I'm going to do some work basically taking this whole staircase out and kind of doing a bit of a rethink on what I was going to do going past this door here. So first thing I want to do is I want to change up this particular passage block here and door arrangement that I have going on, because I think I can do... Yes, thank you. Because I want to do something a little bit different here. Now, do I have passages? No, I don't. Let me get my toolbar here set up. So we need to kind of clear a few of these things out. So let me grab my passages, which is that, and of course my corridor. All right, so instead of the passage 2 that I have here right now, I'm going to go to the passage 2, but just the one-sided one. Let me just update the color choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to get rid of this door here. And then I'm going to flip this guy around and put that one there like that. So that we still have the same passage that is going from the jump drive area. Of course, I will need to swap this out for a regular one. In fact, maybe I should do that now. Okay, so got that swapped out for one that I can actually build. Eventually, I will replace both of these with some Prototech ones, or at least one of these with a Prototech one, but I'm going to have to go find one. All right, so now what I want to do, and the reason I wanted to swap these around, is I think I can do something a little bit better with the doors here. So I'm still going to be using the lab door. So we're going to put that one there. And again, when you're placing your lab doors, if you look for this kind of little section right here, that is the part that doesn't move, and then the other part that does move is just the straight rectangular. All right, so I put that one there because I want to actually be able to put another one of them right in here so that the bathroom actually has a door on it like so, and that way now I can get through here. And we still have, of course, our living quarters door. We can close that up there, and let's go close that door. Okay, so we repressurize and we're good to go again. The other one I want to change, and it is the exact same change, is I'm going to take that one out and I'm going to put that there instead. Now, the reason why we want it there is because otherwise we have one of these exposed conveyor ports, and I don't like exposed conveyor ports. I mean, I do have some other choices here. So one of the things I can do is maybe put in a panel light, which honestly, maybe I like that more. Okay, well, there you go. That's even a better improvement. Just having some light there. I just felt that it was kind of closing this off a little bit. I'm going to leave my fishy tank here because, you know, I got to have my fishy tank. But I can still kind of work within this space there. All right. So now moving back here, which is going to be the kind of major thing I want to have a rethink on. I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff that I have currently in place. So we'll kind of basically shave everything off the backside here, except the block I'm standing on. And we'll also pull all of this stuff out. So you can go bye-bye, you go bye-bye. All of this stuff is going to go like that. And instead what I'm going to do is let's put another one of these. Again, I'm using that one there. So I'm going to put one of those in there. And then I'm going to grab our door, because I want to have a bit of a better door here. And I am going to use the centered glass, just like that. All right, so I'm going to put that in there. And then we'll just seal this all up here. So let's go to our interior wall blocks and see what might look good in this space now. For one, we can actually use the proper ones of these. So I can put this guy there. We'll grab the pillar right there. Put a pillar block right there. And then up here, let's use one there, and we'll go like that. All right, so how does that look closing all this up? Ooh, nice little bit of detailing in there. Nice. All right. And again, we pressurize. Perfect. Okay. So that's going to close that off. Now, I do want to come back up to the top here, but one of the things that's throwing me off a little bit... Yeah, but I have that air vent right there. Okay, let's do a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of hull shaping here. And we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Okay, put a little bit of flaring out there, which is good. Okay, now over here, let's grab our staircases. So we have these lovely ones here. I'm going to put one right there. And let's start taking this out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build out a little bit like that on both sides. So I'm going to start building out this space here. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll start off with something like this for the new space. So I'm going to have a door here. We come down the staircase, we go down here. That is going to lead into the crew quarters. Then coming out this way, so what my original intent was to have like a 3-deck split level, and then have like a little bay for a mining ship just underneath here, which would be the kind of split level. But I think with the shape that I've got going here and what I've got so far, I really don't need to have that 3rd deck, or at least I'm going to do the 3rd deck differently. It's still a split level, but instead of the 3rd level being below this one here, what I'm going to do is actually put a landing pad. Instead of having a vertically going up into the ship, just a straight up landing pad on the back with the access door right here. Will that work? Now, no. Sorry, let's erase this and let's come at it a little bit differently here. Okay, so I pulled that stuff off temporarily because before I put the stairs and stuff in there, I do need to bring conveyor back, and I need a way of getting up into the ship from the ground. Having a door back here on an up-elevated platform is great when you're in space, but this is a terrestrial ship as well, so I need to keep that in mind. Okay, so we've got a turret hanging down there, so yeah, this is basically the lowest point of the ship here. So first thing I'm going to need to do is let's run some conveyors to the back. And we'll use, let's turn that off so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Let's just go back, straight back with these guys here. All the way to the back like that, and then we can go move up past the stairs. So we got a conveyor running to the back. Then in here, we can just start filling in all of our armor. I'm going to turn on symmetry so that it gets on both sides. Kind of like that. Let's get in these guys. I'll cover up the gyros. We're going to come in like that. This is the lowest point on the ship. Pull that center line out again quickly, because if that is the lower point of the ship, okay, so that's the bottom part of the ship. That means we can bring out these guys, and we can slap in a couple of little landing pads so it can touch down on the ground. Yep. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little different here with my conveyors, and I'm going to do a little bit something. I'm going to repurpose the staircase. Yeah, because this really doesn't serve a purpose, but I got a much better use for this kind of space. I just have to work my way around. So instead of having the staircase just come down to here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the stair. Oh, that's a railing. It's not a stair. All the way down to here. Let me pull that conveyor out of there so I can see what I'm doing. All the way down to here. So it's just this big old long staircase that heads down. I don't think I'm going to use this. Sorry, let me just change this up again. Hey, I think I got this figured out. So I got a little bit of venting here for the thruster. And then underneath here, we have a button. And when I push the button, down comes our boarding ramp. And that's what I wanted to make room for. So that comes down one block, which is why I'm really happy they gave us these new landing gear. We can turn our lights back on because it puts that at exactly the right height. So now when I step on here, I can now, from the ground, walk up here, can hit this button here, that closes that hatch, and then when I open this door, the area is pressurized. So this is a fully pressurized door, and I'm now in here. So I'm running now the conveyor. So we can just open that up again and let it vent out. So I've redirected the conveyor to come out through here. It is now hidden underneath these blocks, runs towards the back, and then rejoins the conveyor line here, right at where the air vent is. And then what this does is then gives me access to the rest of the ship up the long staircase, and then coming out into the crew quarters here, where we can run to the back, close up the door here, and then we're again once in a fully pressurized space. So ground entrance down here, and back here we'll have the rear entrance. Okay, so I wanted to figure out that boarding ramp, so now that we're back here we can pretty much put in everything I had taken out. Of course. Yeah, so I'm going to put the staircase back here. So we'll put this guy back into place. Right about there. Just like that. I'm probably going to have to change that up there for the floor, but that's fine. So again, looking at what I had the last time, I think we would have our T corridor here. Tell where that is. So I'm going to put that there back into place. That doesn't look good. But if I grab more of these, we can kind of add a little bit of detailing there. That kind of hides all that. That's good. Okay, so that's going to come out there. And then we're going to come in with our I think I'm going to need to put an airlock back here. Yeah, this is going to need an airlock, so we need to go find, and we'll use the center glass one, and I'll just put that where the ramp is. So this is another great mod. Really appreciate the fact that it came out right away after we got the new center doors. And this is actually a center door airlock, so it's all nice and combined. I just push the button, that one closes, this one opens, and we can go through. Really, honestly, Keen needs to give us some sort of airlock door, just like these guys here, because they do just make, instead of having these big god-awful long airlocks, work so much better on the ships. Okay, now that I've done that, we are of course going to immediately remove it, and we are immediately going to remove that. And we're going to put the T-junction back in, except this time we're going to turn it this way. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to grab our airlock and put it right in there. So when you get to the top of the stairs, you turn left, come this way, you turn right, you go that way. And we are still staying symmetrical. The reason I want to do that is that way we're not getting super long in the back. Okay, let's run some blocks, at least underneath here. Make sure symmetry's turned back on. This is symmetry is the reason for the season. It's the reason why we're in creative. It just makes life so much easier. Okay, so we can have a start of the platform there. So that's going to be the bottom of the platform. Okay, so that brings all of that towards the rear. We can now grab our floor blocks, which I think I've now hidden somewhere. Okay, let's turn that back on. Let's run a line of these guys back this way. Maybe something like that. Let's replace these with something a little bit more colorful. Not that. What do we got? We got these guys. Instead of that, let's actually grab our inset lights. Come on. Get in there. And then we put a little line of them back, going back like that. That kind of gives us an idea for our landing pad. Okay, so with all of that being done, I think we can start looking at trying to button all of this up. Now that's probably going to be too big, so let's pull and grab. Who do I want to use? Let's use Simon. Simon's kind of my go-to little tiny miner. Which, yeah, I think I could put, if I grab Simon like that, I should be able to, can I dock him up to the back? So if we grab our backup camera, I can dock him not here. No, he's a bit too high. Reason I like Simon, but that does tell me that, yeah, I'm going to keep using Simon. I'm just going to do a little bit of an adjustment back here. Now, do I want to go with the connector directly on top like that, or do we want to come out a little bit? I almost want to come out a little bit. So we're going to grab... Actually, I'm going to grab a pipe like that. How is this going to look? This is going to look like absolute vomit, isn't it? However, what if I grab my scaffolding There's nothing for it to grab onto there, though, is there? No. Okay, let's try that. Like that. Then we grab our scaffolding.
Meteor storm inbound.
Alright, why won't you go in? Well, that's because you don't actually have anything to anchor to, so I'll put that one there. Put that there. Turn that on, so it'll do it all over again. That goes there. And that goes there. And that way, when I already shooting stuff up, are you? Okay, and then we can hit that, we hit that, I can see what I'm doing. One of the things I've been doing with my little ships has been adding rear view facing remotes so that I can lock things up, and there. So that would be kind of where this guy hangs. A little bit inconvenient. I don't like that. Nope, nope. Nope, still don't like this. Let me try something else again. Okay, so what I did instead of going higher is I actually went into the deck a little bit by using these 2x1s. So I still have my little lights going down there, and as you can see, he just kind of nicely sneaks into place. And if I disconnect him and move him out of the way, we can get a better look at it. And you can see there we go. We have our nice little landing bay. All right, okay, good. Let's now turn our attention to the rest of the hull here. And of course, keep thinking about where I want to put a few more defensive positions here, because I do intend to go after some Factorum, and I'd like to make sure I have a chance of surviving. So let's see, if I pop that guy right there, I have a conveyor underneath where we can grab a conveyor pipe, put that there. You can grab another conveyor pipe right there. Underneath, I have a thruster there, so that's not great. But I can pop that. Oop. Pop that right in there. Pop that out of there. So I can put in a conveyor junction with a conveyor pipe like that. Of course, that's not gonna work. Unless I do this, which, you know what, I'm okay with. Let's do that. Okay. So that's a turret. That's going to be a turret spot. What can I do out here? Let's lose that and turn that off so I can see again what the heck I'm doing. So we have the in there. How's the view from the front, from the control seat? I don't really want to block that off too much. For now, let's not. Okay, let's just start looking at hull. I'm gonna. I know it's risky, but do want to keep my weight down on the ship. Make sure I got symmetry on again. Well, let's come out to there. So I am using light armor. In fact, let's have a look at what our weight is currently. So we're up to 1.37. So we've got... These guys are still enough to lift. And these guys give me that little bit of extra. So I think I'm even per tam safe at this point. Yeah, so I mean, weight is always going to be a problem. So I'm kind of minimizing the heavy armor I'm putting in. Instead, I'm going to rely on some strategic locations of heavy plating, and then using light armor blocks underneath, like these guys here. And then we'll close that off like that. Okay, let's... Yeah, I'm just going to start putting some hull bits in and pieces in now, and we'll check back in once I have some of the hull shaping done. Okay, I think that gets the front of the ship. Added a little extra thruster there just to give it that bit of extra boost. I'd probably put another one here if it wasn't for this conveyor being in the way, and I don't really want to move the conveyor. Still got a bit of space here. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is let's take it, first of all, let's make sure it still flies. I'm going to actually copy it. Paste the copy over there, just so I don't mess up anything with the original in case something goes horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. And let's see if it, actually moves. Okay, that's not bad. We're up to 1.4. I am accelerating. How about brakes? Brakes are okay. Gyro response is sluggish. Up thrust, pretty snappy. Down thrust. That's the point across. Going this way. Not super fast. But you know what? Yeah, I think I can get away with this. Let's just throw a few more gyros in. Get rid of the copy there. I'm going to toss a few more gyros, and the reason I wanted to check is I got some empty spacing around here that I can fill in. Like right here, we can put a couple of gyros in. We can put a couple of gyros in. We can put it, I don't have a gyro on my hotbar. Alright, let's get the gyro. And we'll put one there. one there. So we got 4 more. And then I want to start buttoning things up. So let's close this stuff off here. Okay. So we've got rocket launchers, cannons, railgun. We got that. We've got to cut out for something there. We've got that there, that there. I don't think it's going to have anything if I put them in. So now I'm just trying to balance out the back here. And I'm thinking... What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Close it up here. So we'll pop that there. Fill in this space. And then I don't really use these that much. Put one of those there. Like that. Pull that out, and let's just wrap the corner like that, and like that. We need to put something in here. Let's grab one of these ramps. They have a little bit of decorative flair to them. We'll put you there. And then we'll grab you. Put you. And then fill that in there. There. Alright, so what we got is we got a few more little thrusters. We got these kind of blanks of lights. We got the pipes. We kind of flow back into this section back here. We have absolutely nothing for a roof yet. Probably do something about that. This I am going to do in heavy armor. So let's grab that out of there, that out of there, that out of there. And I want heavy armor of that, heavy armor of that, and heavy armor of that. Probably mostly just need out of this menu choices here. So we're gonna go boop, boop. A little bit overhang. Actually, let's go with that. And roof. And to protect the windows, we'll put a little sun visor action going on there. And then we can grab these guys here. And we can grab those little fellas, which again, I don't use that often. We come across like that. Probably should have at least one light up here. So we'll grab the Twooper light. That in there. And seal up the roof like that. And then just to make sure that nothing's getting through, I can't put armor plate there. Oh, actually, you know what I think I want to do here? Didn't mean to do that. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. So let's put that back in. Instead, I'm going to come up Do a full thickness block here. I'm going to need... Am I using light armor here? Good lord, I am. It's wrong, but no light armor. Only so cool. And then we put that. Okay. So, what am I doing? I'm doing that. I'm doing one of them. One of them. And one of them. And what the heck, one of them. Then we can grab our tufa. Make sure we have the full tufa. Pointing down into there. And that is not what I wanted. And I can put in one of them. Put you back. So I'm gonna go away. And then to fill in this space, need that. All right, who's floating? Something ain't attached here. There we go. Oh, okay. There are blocks all over the place that are no longer attached. Like pretty much all of these. Until the fact that the symmetry is not lighting up. So, yep, every last one of these blocks is a free floating. That actually is a bit troubling. I need anchor points, so what I'm going to do here is take those out, grab my scaffolding again, like that, because the scaffolding also has these, but they give us no anchor points on the top. Yes, I do. Yeah, so I can anchor a solid block on the top like that. I think. Yep. And I'll just put another one in just for safety's sake. Okay, you are just going to hang out there. So let's go back to our armor blocks now. First, let's grab our tufa. And I'm going to drop the tufa right there. And symmetry back on, and go grab our heavy blocks. So we'll put one there, one there, and yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess that works. Okay, come around here, one of them, coming around here, one of them, and then we finish off here, put that there, and you go there, and you go there, Okay, let's get rid of the helm here and let's grab our antennas. Like that, and we'll just grab one of these guys. Yes, I really do like these ones. And we can put a parabolic there. And we can anchor it with one of those. Now, in the corners, I think that'll work nicer there. We still need our heavies. Few more bits and pieces in there. And along the side here. Finishing up with one of these. Alright, that's an antenna. Now, do we see anything that's exposed? No, everything is buttoned up. And we need to get our one more landing gear back here. Let's put it right there. So we have a tricycle of landing gear. And need a few guns or turrets now. Let's see, let's put an assault cannon right here on either side. Put another assault cannon there. And there. I want to keep as much distance between me and people trying to kill me as possible, so we're going to use those. And we'll come in with a couple of these. I have absolutely no rear-facing turrets, but I can put one right there. I just need to see where my conveyor is. You conveyor. No, you're a low. I need a conveyor. There's one. Okay, let's grab some conveyors. We'll grab our one of them. And we need to turn that off so I can see again where the orientation is. So we'll come in through there. We'll put in a straight. Like that. Like that. Grab a 90. Like so. Grab some armor plating. Not put armor plating right there. I'll still have to put you back. And then I can put a turret right there. Okay, and that is it. As always, it's never the way you think. I think there's going to be kind of an evolution as we go along with this ship. Like with all ships, I need to fill something in this corner here. I also need to fill something in this corner here, so I'll just, while I'm standing here. Yeah, that'll work. I probably want to do this on both sides, so we need the other side there, and we can go like that. Okay. Yeah, definitely going to need a little bit more, you know, kind of as I go along, but I think that is going to get me working and constructing back at home. A couple of more little odds and ends I'm going to need. First thing I'm going to do, let's bring up our conveyor network again. So right here, ground right here. I'm going to punch through right there. So that gives me a conveyor junction right there. I'm going to throw that there so I can drop one of these underneath there, because I do need a way to connect to the base. No, I don't think that's actually how I'm going to do that. No, never mind. What am I thinking? What was I thinking? I'm going to use one of these recessed ones instead. I'm going to take that out of there so I can grab a bit of conveyance like you. No, like you. That way I have access to the to that, and I'm still close or far enough back. Means you can always move that, so that's not a big deal. So now I grab one of these guys here, like that. I go and grab one of them. So at least I can land up front here. I have a nice little tunnel I've got prepared. We'll throw a camera in there. We'll go grab some glass. Actually, before I do that, let me grab this so I can throw a transparent. Oh. Let's move that back by one. Get the camera back up. No, let's pull that camera out. Let's put that there, that there. I'm going to take that out of there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Put that there. You can throw one of these there. Grab one of those there. And then finish with one of these there. And that gives me a way of aiming. And if I go here and change this, perhaps, and we put an artificial horizon on there, we turn the background color to black, and that makes it transparent. That way, when I'm kind of, fighting and flying and whatnot, I have, flight information there. Really helpful, especially if you in your gravity well. Okay, yeah, I think that does it. Let's hop inside here through the airlock. Make sure we are completely and utterly... Oh, there we go. No, we are not airtight. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out... Or, that's how we get up in there. Is that okay? Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a submarine vibe, doesn't it? Okay, well, let's go down here. Let's go downstairs and let's see if we can figure out where we're leaking. Let's turn on our leak finder. That would be to the open hatch. And that's it. We are airtight. Perfect. And that is the ship from the inside. We can step out there. We can go through the front. So we have 2 access ports on either end of the ship, which aren't too bad. I'm gonna have to do some decorating, bring a little bit more kind of flair to it. Add something here. Safety railings and stuff like that. It's got no lights anywhere on it, but this I think is going to do it for now. So the last thing we need to do is take a blueprint. Yeah, I have given it a temporary name. Could be the permanent name, the Noctool. It's a type of bat, and that's because of the obvious batish type symbol there. So that is it. That is the blueprint. So next, all we need to do now is start getting we can finally start working on our ice farm for next week. We can set up the projector. We need to build a landing pad, aka launch pad for this thing. We're going to need to set up a printing for that, but we've got the repair printer down there. We just need to set up a projector. And I think that's going to do it. So that is it for the ship. We are done. 6-7 hours worth of build time. And we are left with this. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate you kind of coming on board. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a channel member, you can do so by hitting the link in the description or hitting the join button below. As always, thank you to channel member Lee Barron. But that's it for today. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, hey everyone, be safe out there, be good out there. Most importantly, have yourself a great day. Till next time, bye bye.